I say delay it when it comes around, have it only relate to the central banks, both here and internationally, and not be direct to consumer.
That's a good idea. Our bill right now at least has a study about the Chinese yuan for their digital currency, because we need to understand what the implications of that are going to be, what that effect will have on U.S. markets, and really understanding what the Chinese usages actually will be, because a lot of it is arguably more intelligence gathering than anything else. So we need to understand it, and so that's part of our bill as well, so that we can inform ourselves about what's happening around the globe as we consider it ourselves.
Say Libra was something of lit a bit of a fire. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And guys, anytime we hear from the New World Order puppets, they always have to study cryptocurrency. We know they've been studying it for what? For decades. We know the Chinese digital yuan is going to be the new world reserve currency. We see the IMF raising the weight in the digital yuan. And remember, guys, they were supposed to do this in July. They are doing it earlier. Everything is being sped up. And we know global regulation for crypto is going to be here. We know everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain, because blockchain gives the New World Order the all seeing eye. And we know these stable coins are programmable. Remember what David from R3 stated: if you want to boost the economy, and we know the New World Order works off problem, reaction, solution. We see the economy being crashed. So they're going to airdrop this free money. And the sheet will have 3 to 6 months to spend on money. Poof, it's gone. No more savings. Nothing will be real. And that's the reason why the robots, algorithms, and drones are going to take over the economy. And the sheep are going to go inside the metaverse. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Say Libra was something of lit a bit of a fire. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades.
Global baseline regulation is so important and so timely, because this industry can go any way right now, and we want to keep it in America, and we want to be able to compete with the world, and we want this place to be the safest place to engage in these technologies and these markets.
And this idea was Kirsten's idea, and I really like it, because as Bitcoin and other digital assets move from being a store of value to also being a means of payment, it's going to be important that we fashion regulations that recognizes that dual purpose, which is something that stocks don't do right now.
Right. Gensler, crypto is a bit like the wild, wild west. There's not a lot of standard consumer protections in place. So if an exchange is hacked, then there's a risk that you could lose your crypto. How would your forthcoming bill protect investors against losing crypto in the event of a hack? How would you ensure that consumers could access their crypto at any time they want and get their money back, especially if there's a lot of volatility in the markets? As you know, crypto can be quite volatile.
Well, certainly the exchanges would be subject to regulation. People can have individual wallets, and if Bitcoin is properly secure in that wallet, investors can be certain that they have access to their digital assets. But for people who are going through an exchange, it's going to be important that those exchanges have those very consumer protections of which you spoke. So the bill we're drafting would provide for that. It would continue to look to the SEC that has experience in consumer protection to provide those thresholds for consumer protection that will ensure that exchanges are secure. The other issue that's really important with regard to consumer protection is that while Bitcoin and Ethereum make up over 60% of all the digital assets that are held in the world. There are somewhere between 17 and 18,000 cryptocurrencies. A lot of those are fraudulent. And so among the things that we want to ensure is that fraudulent cryptocurrencies are meted out, and the SEC has the tools it needs to ensure that consumers are protected from fraudulent crypto concerns.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.